Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is the show where we take these official regulatory documents, in this case, the USA Hockey 2025-2029 rulebook, and really just distill them into something you can actually use on the ice.
Exactly. And this deep dive, it's built specifically for you, the novice official, as you're, getting ready to earn your stripes.
Today, we are focused on something that is absolutely fundamental to game management, player and goalkeeper equipment. That's Rules 301 all the way through 307.
It's a big one.
It is. And before we get into the weeds, I think we need to internalize the core philosophy here. The rulebook is crystal clear on this. It says, player safety and fairness override convenience every single time.
That has to be your mantra.
Yes, that's the thought you need to have in your head before you step on the ice.
And that mantra helps you understand that equipment rules, they really fall into two big categories for you as an official.
Okay.
First, you're there to make sure all the mandatory protective gear is worn and worn correctly. That's the safety check.
And the second?
The second is making sure the equipment doesn't give a player an unfair advantage. That's the fairness check. And knowing the difference between those two, well, that tells you instantly whether you need to just get a player to fix something or if you actually have to assess a penalty.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Let's start with the skaters and their mandatory gear, which is Rule 304.
Right.
The basic rules seem simple. Players have to wear the required equipment and, this is the key phrase, in the manner for which it is designed, without any alterations.
That phrase, without any alterations, that's everything. It's where new officials can get into trouble.
How so?
Well, think about it. If a player is missing, say, a shin guard, that's one thing. But what if they've deliberately modified their helmet? Maybe they cut the ear loops off or took the chin cup right off the face mask.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That equipment is now immediately illegal. The alteration compromises its safety certification.
So, okay, I'm on the ice. I see a player with a deliberately cut chin strap. What's the immediate move? Is it a penalty?
No, not right away. Your first action isn't a penalty, it's removal.
Yeah.
You tell that player they are not permitted to participate. Get off the ice. Either fix it or get a new piece of gear. You're enforcing the safety standard before anything else.
That distinction is so important. Removal for a safety failure versus a penalty for, like, an action that messes with the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which brings us to probably the biggest on-ice equipment challenge, the helmet off scenario.
Right.
So this is a mix of Rule 304 for the equipment and Rule 610 for the penalty. If a player's helmet comes off during play, they have to stop participating right then. They can go get the helmet and skate off or put it back on properly.
But they almost never do, right?
Yeah.
The instinct is to finish the play. They try to get a pass off or chase the puck.
And that's the penalty. The moment they continue to participate, even for a split second with that helmet off, you blow the whistle. It's a minor for delay of game.
So the penalty isn't for the helmet falling off.
No, it's for the player's choice to keep playing in a dangerous situation. That choice is what you're penalizing.
And the rulebook gives us an escalation here, which is really important to know.
Absolutely. You have to be aware of the game situation. If a player does this on a breakaway or, and this is critical, in the last 2 minutes of the game or in overtime, then that minor penalty can become a penalty shot. We're excluding adult classifications here, but for younger levels, the stakes get way higher in those key moments.
And this compliance, it extends off the ice too, right? What about the benches?
Correct. Rule 304C. All players, skaters, and goalies, they have to wear their helmet and face mask properly while they are on the player's bench and in the penalty box.
And I see this all the time, especially with older kids. Helmet on the back of the head, chin strap dangling. What's the enforcement there?
You don't just give them a misconduct right away, do you?
Or no, and that's a key procedural difference. For a bench violation, the referee issues a team warning first.
A warning to the whole team, yes. You go to the coach, you say, "Coach, get the helmets on." You make it a team responsibility. After that warning has been given, any other player on that team who violates the rule gets a misconduct penalty.
So it's warned first, then penalized.
Exactly. You're managing the bench environment, not just one player.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit. From personal protection to the tools of the game, like sticks, this is where things can get a little contentious.
For sure. Now we're moving more from safety into that fairness category. Sticks, under Rule 301, they have pretty simple limits, maximum of 65 inches long from the heel to the end of the shaft.
The end of the shaft has to be covered, right?
Yes, has to be fully covered. Tape, a plug, something. That's a little bit of a safety thing, too.
Now, for the real gotcha moment for a new ref, the measurement challenge.
Ah, yes. Rule 307. This is one you have to know cold. A team captain can request a stick measurement, but it comes with a big risk.
You can only do it during a stoppage.
Right. During a normal stoppage, yes. They ask you to measure an opponent's stick. If you measure it, and it's illegal, too long, for instance, you assess the minor penalty to the player. Simple.
But here's the trap. What if the stick is legal?
And that's the kicker. If you measure that stick and it's perfectly fine, the team that made the challenge gets a bench minor penalty for delay of game.
Wow.
It's a huge piece of game management. So before you even accept the challenge, you need to look at that captain and make sure they understand the risk. You ask, are you sure? Because if you're wrong, your team is going to the box.
So the rule is really designed to prevent teams from just using this as a tactic to get a free timeout or disrupt the other team's momentum.
Exactly right. It holds the captain accountable. If you're going to stop the game, you better be right.
Okay, let's talk about general adjustments. Rule 309. A player's skate lace breaks or their visor is fogged up. Do we stop play for them?
Absolutely not. The responsibility is on the player to have their gear ready. If something needs fixing, they must go to the bench immediately and get a substitute. You fix it on the bench, not on the ice.
What if they try to be sneaky? Like, we have a whistle for an icing, and a player just kneels down to tighten his skates, taking his sweet time.
That's a penalty. If any player or goalie delays the game to make an adjustment, that's a minor for delay of game.
So even during a stoppage?
Yes. The game is waiting on them. They are prioritizing their equipment over restarting play, and that's a delay. Get to the bench and let someone else take your spot.
All right, let's get into the most detailed part of this section. Goalkeeper equipment. Rule 303. This is where the measurements get really, really specific.
They do, and for a good reason. Oversized goalie gear basically shrinks the net. It's a huge fairness issue.
To give us the numbers, what are the key measurements a ref needs to have in their head?
Okay, there are 4 critical ones. First, the blocker. Maximum 8 inches wide, 15 inches long.
8 by 15, got it.
Second, the catching glove. The cuff can't be more than 8 inches wide, and the whole glove can't have a circumference of more than 45 inches.
That seems really specific.
It is. And the catching part itself, from the heel to the top of the T-trap, can't be more than 18 inches.
Wow. Okay, and the big ones, the leg pads.
Leg pads. Maximum 11 inches wide, not a millimeter more, and 38 inches long. You also have to look at the design. No weird attachments or puck foils designed to deflect pucks. The calf protectors can't be thicker than 1.5 inches.
Okay, let me ask a practical question.
Yeah.
I'm a new ref on the ice. I have a flexible tape measure, not, a set of industrial calipers.
Right.
How am I supposed to accurately measure a bulky, soft goalie pad in the middle of a game? What's the real standard of proof for that 11-inch rule?
That's a great question, and the rule book actually anticipates this. The guidance in Rule 307 is really clear. Your simple, flexible tape measure is considered sufficient to make a proper determination.
So it doesn't have to be lab perfect.
Not at all. You're not running a science experiment. If a piece of equipment looks too big and your tape measure confirms it's clearly over the limit, it's illegal. You use your judgment. Trust me, if a pad is 12 inches wide, you'll know it.
Okay, so we've measured it, and it's illegal. The pads are too wide. What's the call?
It's a minor penalty for an equipment violation, but, and this is the crucial part, that's not the end of it.
Right.
The goalie must remove or fix that illegal equipment before they can play again. They can't just serve the 2 minutes and then come back with the same oversized pads. The game does not continue until that gear is legal.
And we can't forget the mandatory safety gear for goalies.
Yes, absolutely. For all goalies below the adult classification, a HECC certified neck laceration protector is mandatory. It's non-negotiable. We strongly recommend it for adults, but for youth hockey, you have to enforce it.
Okay, one last piece of equipment. The puck itself, Rule 306, we all know the standard black puck.
Right, 5.5 to 6 ounces. But you have to remember the exception for the youngest players.
The 8 and unders.
For the 8 and under classification, you are required to use the blue lightweight puck. It's only 4 to 4.5 ounces. That's a key safety and development rule, and as the official, it's on you to make sure the right puck is in play.
So this whole deep dive really boils down to 2 core responsibilities for us as officials, doesn't it? Protecting safety and protecting fairness.
That's the entire thing in a nutshell. You have to master the difference between a player who needs to be removed to correct something like an altered helmet and a player who needs to be penalized for an action, like playing with their helmet off.
Missing or altered safety gear means the equipment is illegal. They have to fix it. That's a safety issue.
But if a player intentionally delays the game to fix a strap or continues to play when they shouldn't, That's an action. That's a penalty.
So your enforcement path completely depends on that diagnosis. Helmet on the bench.
Warning, then misconduct.
Helmet off on the ice, but they keep playing.
Minor for delay.
Goalie pads too wide.
Minor penalty A and D. The pads have to be fixed or removed.
Exactly.
You have to be quick, you have to be assertive, and you have to protect the integrity of the game and the players.
So to wrap this up, I want to leave you with a final thought, something to chew on. The rule book, it allows for things like curved stick shafts,
Right.
within certain limits.
Yeah.
That's a modification for performance.
It is.
But it strictly, absolutely forbids any modification that might reduce safety, like cutting a piece out of a helmet. So why is one okay and the other is a complete non-starter?
Well, it comes back to the foundation of it all. It's about certification and risk. When you curve a stick blade, you're not changing the fundamental safety of the game. You're just trying to shoot the puck better.
Okay.
But when you cut a chin cup off or alter a certified helmet, you are single-handedly voiding its safety rating. You are introducing a massive risk that the manufacturer never intended.
So safety is just non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable. Performance can be tweaked, but safety cannot be compromised. If you keep that philosophy in your head, you will always know how to make the right call on equipment.
That's a perfect way to end it. We'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.